Hi, welcome to Blockchain Life in 5 minutes. My name is Kary Oberbrunner, CEO of Blockchain Life and co-author of the new book. Now let's get into today's episode. Each version of the internet had a different motto. Let's first unpack the motto of Web 1. Back with Web 1, again, the dates were about 1991 to 2004, and you can see that with the very first version of the internet, essentially, businesses especially, what they would do is they would essentially create a website. They would create a web page. They would create something on the internet. And when they created it, they owned it. Not only did they own it, they pretty much controlled it. There was no conversation. It was very much a one-way monologue. And you would have never thought about commenting on a web page in the very early days, meaning that you would go to, let's just use an example I often use, at Domino's Pizza. You went from the yellow pages. If you don't know what that is, Google it. But you went from the yellow pages, where you basically looked up a menu. And not even a menu. There was an ad or even a phone number. That's how archaic we were. So back in the day, you would say, I'm hungry for pizza. I'm going to go to this book, this big, thick yellow book, and I'm going to look under the word P for pizza. And then I'm going to look through it and determine where the Domino's is near my house. And then I'm going to call the Domino's Pizza, and then I'm going to ask them what deals they have. I mean, this is a ton of friction. This is not an efficient way of looking at the internet. So when the first Domino's said, we're going to put our menu online, it was like, whoa, we're going to save so much time. And all it was a menu online. It's like taking a piece of paper and just putting it on the internet. But they created it, they owned it, there was no conversation. Along comes Web 2. And with Web 2, it's we create, they own. So now all of a sudden, you take a business like Toyota or Honda, and now instead of going to the internet and just seeing like Honda vehicles, now Honda's suddenly saying, hey, post your picture of your Honda online, or tell your Honda story. And so all of a sudden now it went from monologue to dialogue. And guess what? Even though we created the content, we created the video of the Honda, we created the picture of the Honda, we created the story, the text about the Honda, they owned it. And you can see this with Facebook and YouTube and all these big tech places in the terms and agreements. We were the ones doing the creation, but they owned it. Now comes along Web 3, and with Web 3, and by the way, with Web 2, they could take you down, they could censor you, they could decide they don't want to allow you to be able to create more content. They could say that you infringed upon the terms. They owned it, and there went all your content, your data, your creativity. And so people began to freak, and they began to say, look, I'm going to back all my stuff up. This is my data. And you saw this polarization happen, which moved to Web 3. And Web 3 is essentially, we create, we own. We're the creators. We're the ones who can now own our data. We're the ones who can own our creativity. We're the ones that we retain the rights. And so suddenly you begin to see people saying, I'm just not going to play on your platform if I have to agree to those rights, or I'm not going to post over there. And with this new Web 3, it really is called by a lot of people the creator economy. It's almost like giving power back to the people. And there's a whole land of opportunity in Web 3. So now this whole censorship going on, this big data, this mining of your information, where marketers sell it back to you, it's kind of like gone. or at least it's a lot less prominent. So this is the mottos that shape the different versions of the internet. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of The Blockchain Life in 5 Minutes. If you would like, secure your copy of the book, available wherever books are sold. In addition to that, check out the VIP launch team. It's absolutely free and includes all kinds of awesome bonuses related to blockchain. You can find out more information at theblockchainlife.io/team. See you in the next episode.